y'all stand for
I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak to you. In preparing for tonight, I picked up a book that I got after 9/11, after the trade centers went down, the Wentworth Law Enforcement Chaplains. And today, in our society, both as government and law enforcement, we're called in roles that require peace offerings, but yet treating everyone fair. So that's where this prayer comes from. Almighty God, in the death and resurrection of Jesus, you willed to console all people to yourself and to each other. Let your spirit of life and holiness renew me in the depth of my being. Unite me to Jesus and to all my brothers and sisters in the world, with all people, Christian and non-Christian. I seek to follow the way of the gospel. Keep me faithful to the teaching of the gospel and sensitive to the needs of other people. Strengthen me daily to work for reconciliation and peace in all that I do. Forgive me for my sins, deepen my faith, and kindle in my heart the willingness to reach out to my fellow man and to be there in need. May I walk in the footsteps of Jesus in the good days as well as the bad. As each day passes, may I become more a person of hope and healing, so that on the day when I am called from this world, those who will be left behind might say of me as being honest and true and peaceful to all those we serve. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Martin?
Yes.
Otis?
Yes.
Johnston?
Yes.
Akins?
Yes.
King?
Yes. You all had a chance to look over, review the July 20th, 2015 council meeting. Are there any changes? Motion to accept the minutes. Mr. Otis, second. Mr. Eakins, roll call please.
Otis?
Yes.
Johnston?
Yes.
Akins?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
And Martin?
Yes. The mayor will not be here tonight. She asked me to read this proclamation. It's the West Jefferson Mayor and Village Council members proclaim August the 11th, 2015 as National 811 Day in the Village of West Jefferson. Whereas since 2012 there have been nearly 1,000 facility damages in the Columbia Gas of Ohio service territory caused by people failing to have utilities located before they dig. And whereas each year in Ohio lives are endangered and property is destroyed when people fail to have underground utilities located before beginning projects that involve digging or excavation. And whereas 811 is our state's free phone number for the general public and professional excavators to request that utility companies mark the location of the underground facilities 2 business days prior to digging. And whereas recognizing that digging in any form near underground utilities without having them located can be extremely hazardous to people, property, and the environment, the Village of West Jefferson and Columbia Gas of Ohio are working to increase public safety and prevent damages to underground facilities, ensuring the continuity of utility and communication services. And whereas the Village of West Jefferson commits itself and its departments to call 811 before we dig, setting an example for all the community. Now therefore I, Garver, Steele, Mayor of the Village of West Jefferson, Ohio no old business, new business. Next available number is 15045. It's a resolution expanding the boundaries of the West Jefferson North Community Reinvestment Area in the village of West Jefferson, Ohio, implementing sections 3735.65 through 3735.70 of the Ohio Revised Code and making related authorization. Mr. Caleb Bell, Berger, and Eckler, our attorney for our citizen CRA, will explain what's going on here.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Before you, council, you have a resolution which will expand basically the boundaries of the West Jefferson Northern CRA area. As you may know, the CRA is a tool that is available to municipal corporations to offer real property tax abatements on new construction or remodeling of existing buildings within the area designated. This particular resolution takes an area of the village which is already within a CRA boundary and expands that boundary to potentially offer the same real property tax abatement to new properties which are not currently within the boundaries of your CRA, the West Jefferson Northern CRA. So while this resolution expands the boundaries of the abatement area, it does not actually offer an abatement to any particular property owner, or it does not offer an abatement to any particular building. Those offerings, if appropriate, will come back before council at the time through a process that's outlined in the statutes for an agreement between the village and a potential building as that building is coming up. So again, what this resolution does is it expands that boundary within which you may enter into negotiations with the property owner for potentially abating the property taxes on their building. As you know, this has been a tool that you've used many times along the routes that are near the freeway, the FedEx and Restoration Hardware and Bonton and other developments have been subject to this tool. So it is a tool which brings large users into the village. So that's really what's going on here. We're extending that boundary potentially with this resolution and making that tool available for more properties in the village.
Mr. Clark, Continental Realty,
Good evening. My name is Jim Clark. In my past career, I was with Duke Realty, and I was one of the kind of the linchpins that brings the development out to the Chung parcel. And the CRA is a very valuable tool for industrial development because it offers incentives that are competitive with a lot of the tax abatements and tax incentives that are available in competitive land positions in the township on the east side down to Rickenbacker. We're in the process, I work for Continental Real Estate right now, we're in the process of signing a joint venture agreement with Hillwood Investment Properties, which is Ross Perot's development company out of Dallas, and we're going to co-develop the Parsons piece, which is in front of you tonight. So, as Caleb mentioned, the CRA itself allows for and is qualified for tax abatement similar to what you granted in nearby parcels, but we don't have a user today. We're getting our ducks in a row, so to speak, with the tax abatement, and being eligible for those kind of incentives is very important to us in order to attract other users to West Jeff. So for right now, we've got a preliminary plan, but no users in particular. But we look forward to working with council and staff on identifying users and hopefully sharing with you information about the users and working on the tax incentives as they were to come about on a per deal basis. But as of right now, we don't have a particular user in tow that we're talking to. But it's kind of the chicken and the egg. You really need to have the tool in place before any activity or someone would consider the location as part of their site selection process. So I don't know if anyone has any questions. I'd be happy to answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Conley,
No, I think that Mr. Bell and Mr. Clark did a good job of describing what is before council this evening, and And unless there are specific questions about what's being proposed, I don't necessarily have anything to add.
Mr. Conley represents Continental Realty with Dinesh, Friedlander, Copeland, and Aronoff. If there are no questions or discussions, I'll entertain a motion to accept this resolution. Mr. Martin? Second, Mr. King? Roll call, please.
Johnston?
Yes.
Akins?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
And Otis?
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Sir.
Right. Next thing on the agenda is ordinance 1546. Authorizing a supplemental appropriation in general fund account 1000-790-225-40 in the amount of $12,659.71. What, you want to explain what this is?
Briefly, this year, our ratings, our discount rating went down. We didn't get as much discount with our workers' comp due to a settlement that was made with a lawsuit case. And so we budgeted $28,000, but our actual premium, because of the lower discount, came in at $40,000. I have made the first initial payment, and we still owe them $20,000 some dollars in that neighborhood, and I need $12,000 to finish that payment.
Any questions? Entertain a motion, please. Mr. Eakins, second, please. I'll second. Roll call, please.
Akins?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Otis?
Yes.
And Johnston?
Yes. Moving right along, is there anybody in the crowd who said no, who would like to say anything at this time? John or Herm? Mike? Okay. Committee reports, finance? Nothing at this time. Police, Mr. Eakins?
Nothing at this time.
Employee benefits?
No, we just still working on that, the harassment thing that we got to get busy on.
Public service?
Nothing.
Parks and Rec?
Nothing at this time.
Development, you have the minutes of the last two meetings and the results of those two meetings, which are more or less meet and greet, and tonight with the extension of the CRA for Continental. That's the only thing on the horizon right now is that this piece of property, which consists of approximately 234 acres, is on the market now, where it wasn't in the past. That's all we have on that. Special events?
Yes, we have a big night tomorrow night. It's National Night Out from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. It's the safety day, formerly known as the safety day up at the pool parking lot. It's gonna be jam-packed. The helicopter will be there, so that's gonna be exciting. They're giving away 300 bicycle helmets to youth. It's gonna be a really good day. All the law enforcement's gonna be there. Emergency services will be there. There's gonna be hot dogs. The only thing we haven't acquired yet, and we're still trying, is some furry little animals to pet and look at. We haven't been successful with that.
Okay. Excuse me if I may.
I know there's a dog kennel, you might be able to get some dogs in.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
We all know where that's going. I did get a phone call this afternoon from Mark Macris, they are going to give us ice cream.
Oh, they are, good,
So,
good.
they will be dropping off the tree
Free ice cream.
tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It's up to us to hand it out.
We'll get that care, not a problem. Yeah, that was not gonna happen, and all of a sudden it did happen, so that's good.
As this afternoon, he called me and said it's gonna happen.
Duke and Carter are good neighbors. This is sponsored by Carter, by the way, and now we have Duke jumping in as well, and that's fantastic. Lots of free stuff, so bring your kids out early. And the weenie wagon is ready to go.
And Mr. Martin will probably tell you, any council member who's available to set up finance report, please.
I distributed the July financials this afternoon. The top one is your income tax report. For the month of July, we collected $257,440 in income tax receipts, which is up 17% from last year for July. And the next one down is your revenue status. Our biggest revenue this month was our second half property tax settlement from the Madison County Auditor, which also generated some of our bigger expenses, which we had to pay our TIP funds, or TIP money back to Duke, Patel, and Target, which I did do also in July. And we also made our semi-annual debt payments. Our other our biggest expenses this last month, Decker Construction, we made 3 payments to them for the Westwood project. And we also had a payment to URS that was in the neighborhood of $35,000 for our water treatment plant expansion engineering, but that was an in and out from OPWC. Our 2013 and 14 audit is completed. On your fund balance, your cash summary by fund report, you will notice there are a few fund balance adjustments that the auditors required us to do for that audit. They were fairly small, except for, you will notice the one of our last funds, 9901, is it was the MTB Water Tower Assessment Fund. They wanted us to reclass that fund into an enterprise type fund. So everything that was in that fund is now going to be showing in Fund 5904. It's right above the 9901, the second page of that report. And then from here on out, we will not be using that fund. The reports have been submitted to the state. We should have final audit reports in about a month. As soon as we have those, I'll get those distributed. That's about it.
You said there were more than one that the auditor pointed out. Is the only one?
Now, if you look on your that first page, there's a second column that says fund balance adjustment. Those funds, we had to move some money from the general fund into street and the permissive and state highway, and then so those just wash out. You see the negative and the positive. And that was it.
The mayor's reports, Director of Public Service.
As Debbie mentioned a little bit, Westwood Estates, Kirkwood, Ardell project moving along, still dodging some raindrops this morning and this afternoon, but they are on phase 2. They built Saturday morning, the asphalt off. Phase 2, if you recall, we changed that to be similar to phase 3. We'll do a full depth reconstruction of the existing concrete that's underneath there. They'll leave that in place while they inject, they'll grind that, mill it up, and inject some cement into it, and then that'll become a new base, and then we will place 2 layers of asphalt over the top of that. And then phase 2, thinking by the end of this week, early next week, maybe by Wednesday at the latest, next week, depending on the weather, that should be pretty much wrapped up. And of course, just in time for school, which is coming quickly this year for some odd reason. But, as you probably have seen, if not been down there, they've started into phase 3 on the curbs and sidewalks and drive approaches. I would expect them before the end of the week to be placing the curb in place on the north side, and then they'll start doing the sidewalks and driveways up there also. But still moving along fairly well. I think they'll finish pretty close to maybe being on time if the weather holds out from here on in. But with the contract, they are allowed so many rain days a month, and there's probably gone above and beyond those days, so we'll take a look at that and see how much time, extended time they're allowed. The wastewater plant, we're having a project status meeting this Thursday morning. We'll see how that's going. rebar, pouring a lot of concrete down there. Floor and the walls are starting to come up. The rain, of course, has hampered them quite a bit. But, we continue to try to move forward, on that project. Hopefully we get some, dry August days like we used to, and they can catch up. But, that's still moving along. Don't know if you noticed around some of the guys have been, painting the crosswalk stop bars in preparation for school. Putting up some new signs for the schools. And also, spray the weeds uptown in some areas and still trying to keep up with mowing. And it's strange at this time of year, but, we're still on that.
Well, on that door looks very great.
Well, National
Parks
Night
and
Out.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, National Night Out tomorrow. The pool, has been doing a little bit better with the weather. It's good to see. I will mention, I almost forgot, the last day the pool will be open will be August 16th, which is a Sunday, just before school starts. So get over there and, get your laps in and swimming and go for the summer. School's just coming too early.
Incidentally, it closes earlier tomorrow as well, doesn't it?
Yes, we try to close around between 3 and 4, get everything set up for the National Night Out.
Edit. Mr. Mayor's not here. Recognition of clerk of council. Is anybody? Gentlemen? All right. Any additional business? Like a motion to pay the bills? Mr. King, second by Mr. Martin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. There were no then announced certificates that were 3,000. Motion to adjourn at 7:24. Mr. Eakins, King, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign.
In this life, one thing counts, in the bank, large amounts. I'm afraid these don't grow on trees. You gotta pick a pocket or two. You gotta pick a pocket or two, boys. You gotta pick a pocket or two.